Hello, it's Melinda from Scrapbooking&Craft. Just coming on today to do our second little project for our Paperific projects. Paperific is a 3-day craft show that runs every year in late August. I will pop the link to Paperific below. And every year I do a free make and take, and this is my free make and take this year. This year we are showcasing, along with my chipboard and all the manufactured products I make, Rust Texture Paste or Texture Fantasy. So in this particular video we are going to use, and haven't decided which, this one, which is either Junkyard or Northern Lights. It does come in the rusty colour as well, so we have done a small make and take with that one as well. I'm just trying to put my glue somewhere upside down so I don't have to squeeze the life out of it when I go to use it. Okay, so in our little kit we have a manila tag which we're going to work on. We have some scrap chipboard. We have one of our new products, which is 400 GSM mixed media cardstock. So if you're wanting to do something mixed media but not wanting to have it very thick in your project, this is basically a thick cardstock. So we do have a selection of designs for sale at the craft show, and if you'd like any of the particular designs off my website, just email me a list of designs and say, can I have it in the white mixed media card instead of chipboard, and I can certainly do that. All our designs are available in chipboard or the white card. I just haven't worked out how to do that option on my website yet. Got some muslin, we've got a Prima flower, got a little tag that says beautiful. You'll have a key that says beautiful, or you'll have just a normal key, and we've got some scrap chipboard. So what we're going to do first is we're going to stick our scrap chipboard down. So we're actually selling bags of what I call texture trash now, which is basically all this negative part of the chipboard in loads of different designs and ways. So you can, I'm just tearing some of this up to put in our background on our tag. So this texture trash is great to use in the background when you're wanting shapes and fun designs and not wanting to sort of wanting to cover a large area. It's great on canvases as well. So let's grab our glue. So we do sell bags of the texture trash at the shows that we do, and I will start linking all our shows on our website as well. Just got to get more organised. It's not a word that works real well in my household at the moment. Just using a nice strong glue. This one's from Reject Shop. I love it for my chipboard. This particular one is nearly out, and I'm being really scungy and trying to get the last bit out of the bottle. So I like this glue because it's nice and stiff for the chipboard. You could also utilise, you know, when you buy a packet of chipboard letters, we actually don't do a lot of the letter alphabets anymore, but you get that negative, you pop them out. And you've probably all gotten your stash from years ago. It used to be quite popular with chipboard, is to get like a sheet of shapes, and you got the sheet of chipboard and the shapes were cut into it, and then you had all this waste. It's a good idea to delve through your stash and find all those waste bits. I'm not sure whether we're going to be selling the waste on our website. It's quite a heavy product because you get quite a big bag for $5, but if you are interested and you would like to pay the postage, let me know. I can probably fill up like a 500 gram bag or a 3 kilo bag for not much money, or just postage and like the $5 we sell it for at the shows. Okay, sorry, just trying to put my glue off to the side upside down so I can use it again. Okay, now come to colouring, a fun bit. Okay, so we've got different designs of flowers that come out of the Prima pack. A lot of them are black and white, and some of them are this green colour, so I think this one would go perfect with this colour. So this particular set, all the sets of texture paste come in 3 colour pots per set. I usually don't stock the texture paste, I only stock it for the Paperific show, but if you're having trouble finding it locally, I can pop you onto another store that sells it and can certainly post it out to you, so let me know. You can contact me through my website below. So this is the Northern Lights selection. So you've got a purple, you've got an aqua, and I thought this would go nice with these colours, and you've got the light colour as well. So this is a texture paste. It's an acrylic based paint that has texture in it, that has like gritty sand in it. So basically when it dries with sort of a bumpy texture. You can see on this packet here, it's got sort of bumpy texture. And these pots do go a long way. Am I going to go purple or am I going to go aqua? I think I'll go aqua. So what I like to do is pick my base colour and cover the entire project I am working on. And then I will pick a second colour, as this second colour will be the purple, and I'll do about 50% of the project, and then the lightest colour is usually my highlight colour. Now you can mix those around and do your lightest colour first and then your highlight colour is black, or the darker colours. It's up to you, it's just the way I'm going to do it today. So I'm going to use one of these hard bristle hard paint bristle brushes. I can't get that words out today. I'm tongue-tied. So you don't want to use like a watercolour brush, you want one that's hard and stiff. And I like to use one, if I'm using 3 pots of colour, grab 3 brushes, because then you don't have to wash them in between, because you don't want a lot of moisture in the brush. So you're basically going to tap it into the pot and just cover a little bit of the tip of your paintbrush. You don't need to dunk it right up the paintbrush, you basically just want to tap it into the paint. When you're applying it, you're not going to paint like a paintbrush, you're going to more stipple. So I'm sort of dabbing it, and I apologise for the camera movement, dabbing it, or you can do like a swirly motion to get deep down into those crevices. Imagine with this, our flower's going to go on the bottom, we've got a swirl to come up here, and then we've got a key to hang off the top. So a lot of this background we're not going to see. So if we don't completely cover the chipboard, that's not going to be a big deal. Just want to make sure you get all above the tag, because this bit of the tag we'll actually be seeing. So you can actually use these colours on their own or in the 3 combinations as well. I'm going to show you the 3 combinations on this base tag, and then we might pick a couple of the accent colours to do the key or that paper mixed media card swirl in. So a swirly action or an up and down. I'm trying not to do so much of an up and down dumping motion to make you seasick with the camera. As I said, your flower's going to sit down here, so you don't have to be specific on getting everything covered. So see those grooves in there? Imagine this flower's going to sit there. It's going to cover most of it up. Now this paint is a thicker paint, so it will sort of thicken up in the pot, but you can add just a tad bit of water and give it a bit of a stir. You don't want to water it down too much. And we are going to go over with 2 more colours, so we are going to cover up a lot of this as well. So pop that paintbrush aside. It will semi-dry in the paintbrush, but that will be alright. We can use that again later. Now I'm just going to grab my purple and my second paintbrush. And again, I can probably just take some from the lid. As you can see, we're using very little amount of the product. So these little jars will go a long way. So this second colour, I like to do about 50% of the area. So the first colour I like to cover, well, the entire area. This second colour I like to put about 50% over. If you do put too much colour on, we can come and colour correct it later. I think that's about it. While I've got the purple out, I'm actually going to do my beautiful in purple. So as I said, you can just use these as a paint to paint your chipboard, and I'll hold this up in a minute and you should hopefully be able to see the grit. They dry really, really quickly, so you don't need to heat tool or anything to dry them. They'll be dry within about 5 minutes. Just trying to get down all those crevices. So if I hold this up, I'm not sure whether you're going to see. Bad example, you probably see it better on this one. You can see the textured grains of sand. I'll put some close-ups, very cute close-ups at the end of this video. So I've got my beautiful, that's going to come off there. This swirl, I've decided I'm going to do this light colour, and I'm also going to tie some of the light colour into the background as well. What I like to do is a colour I use in the background, I do like to use somewhere else on the project. With these paper swirls, bear in mind they are paper, so you just have to be a wee bit gentle. And my blue looks like it needs a little bit of, well, maybe it's going to be alright. A little bit of moisture in there. Or is it going to be alright? Is it going on? Nope. Needs a little bit of water, and I don't have a spray bottle. Bear with me a moment. Always a way, not a spray bottle to be seen in sight, but I did grab some water in a little syringe. I know why I keep these now from my daughter's medicines. So I just want to squeeze a couple of, like a tiny, tiny bit of water in, And then we're just going to give it a bit of a mix. Sort of a bit of a scrub on the top, and it sort of brings it back to life. So if these ever do go hard, and this one was hard from day one, this light blue for some reason, and then you're just going to sort of stipple it on. The reason we're stippling is, I'm not sure whether I mentioned that before, is if you paint, you tend to get the little grits of sand popping off and you're sort of brushing them off. If you're stippling, you're sort of making the bits of sand or bits of grit stick on. I'm making a beautiful design on my paper of where my little flourish has been. This drop paper that I'm using is actually deli paper from my daughter's cabana. So you can see you've got little grits of sand on that. Sorry about the shadowing. And I will use this in my art journal eventually as well. And our purple is dry. So this is all dry. I was only gone probably about 5 minutes. Make sure you leave the lids on these really, really tightly. Okay, so let's have a look at our layout. Ooh, I like how striking that is. We also have some muslin cheesecloth, muslin bandage. You can use like crepe bandages that come apart. I've used an old sling just to give it some interest. So we're going to put, just going to play around with our settings at the moment. And then I do have some ribbon, but I've actually just probably worked out this ribbon might be the wrong colours because it's quite lime green. Originally I designed these kits for a different product, so I'm trying to make do with them. Okay, what we might do is actually, let's have an experiment. Let's see if I can tone down this ribbon a bit with some of this texture paste. We'll go some of the aqua. Just brush some of this on our little bit of ribbon. We don't need all this piece of ribbon we've got, and it will take some of that gaudy lime green away. And also, so we're going to snip it to here, oops, snip it to there. I'm going to put a little bit on the back as well. And if this doesn't look any good, I'll have to go find some new ribbon for my project, but I think this will look just fine. Okay, so let's just sit my ribbon there for a moment. We'll add a bit of this lighter colour into the background. What you can do with these 3 brushes, if you go and put too much light, say I put too much light, ooh, I don't like that down the bottom there. Let's just, and because this is running and we've activated it with water, it's a lot more fluid and a lot more, so ew, I don't like that. You can pick up these brushes that are not dry, they've still got a bit of product in them, and actually tone down the colour you just put on. So you can play around with these colours, these 3 colours, layering and layering, grabbing some more paint. This purple one is a bit dry because it's the first one I did, so we'll just grab a little bit more paint out of the pot, and you can sort of tone down. So it's all about layering until you're happy with it. And am I happy with it so far? I think I'm just about getting there. So let's just have a look at placement again. This is going to go under our flower, but I'll do that in a minute. So we'll stick our flower there, we'll stick our flourish up here, we'll stick our word. How's it looking? I think our word's getting a little lost. Maybe I'll stick our word up here. No, I like it on there. It's very subtle. I'm a very subtle kind of person. So this is how it's looking. Okay. I actually like the texture paste on the ribbon. Okay, let's sticky thumb things down. Okay, the muslin cheesecloth. What you want to do is, at the moment it's a square, boring square. What you want to do is sort of tease it out, and you can sort of pull it with your fingers, but you're not wanting to pull the entire threads apart. You're just wanting to make it a bit more sort of, I don't know, distressed. It's had a bad day. It's having a bad hair day. So we're just wanting to tease it out. Sorry, I was just double checking it did say record on my camera. Sometimes I hit it and it doesn't record. So see how that's a bit more nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a big bulb of glue. What I tend to do is I like to glue the back of my flower to cheesecloth. So what I'll do is get rid of the big blob of glue that... The only problem with sticking this one upside down is it does free run into the lid, but that's okay. So big blob on the middle of our flower. And anytime you're ready, glue. 2 hands. I don't think that'll work. Okay, hang on. I should just give up with this glue, I think. But I like to use things until they're the last element. Am I the only crafter like that? I like to get... See, if I leave it a minute, it just comes spewing out of the top. Okay, so big blob on the back. Then I like to stick, sort of grab the middle of this and sort of stick it on. And then I put another blob of my glue on. Trying to not get everything in a mess, and I was going to see if I can make this a little easier on myself. Ugh, now I've got it all. There we go, just throw the glue, Melinda. There is a lot of it in the cap, which I do want to get out. Now I've got glue all over my fingers. I do have another new glue somewhere, but I just don't know quite where it is, so we are going to persist. I was going to undo this. And I think this glue is nearly dead. What can I grab that is not going to worry if I enter a paintbrush? I can go clean that. Okay, big blob of glue on the back of this. In the middle. Ugh. Okay, so stick our flower on. And this muslin is stuck behind the flower, and before that sets, we actually just want to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of this flourish. I like to put a bit of glue on the front and the back because we're going to stick it, tuck it just in under our flower just before it sets. You can peel this up and just stick that in, stick as far as it in as you like, and then press it down. So that top bit of the flower is top bit of the flourish is sort of floating around. We are just going to put a little bit of glue there just to catch that bit. Last thing we need to do is get some, sorry, just trying to peel the layers of glue off my hands. This glue is really good because you can sort of, if you get it on your hands, you give your hands a bit of a rub and then it will sort of peel off in blobs, which is really, really good. This glue is actually going in the bin when I finish this project because it's starting to irritate me. Oops. Now we are just going to stick our beautiful on. So again, I don't need to get glue everywhere on this piece. I'm sort of putting a big blob under where the fattest pieces of the chipboard are and trying not to get any strings. And I'm just going to stick that across the top there. So bye bye glue, you are going in the bin. If you irritate me in crafting, you go in the bin. I'll just clean off my paintbrush before it gets all icky. It tends to come off my fingers a lot easier than it does everything else. So any sort of hard glue would work. Probably not a PVA because that's more of a liquid glue. You want sort of something like a gel glue or like a super glue for scrapbooking. Now we're going to see how this ribbon looks. So what I like to do is to do my ribbons the easy way. Fold them in half so you've got a loop and 2 ends. Take the loop, shove it through the hole, poke it through the hole, shove it through the hole. And then you can take the 2 ends, poke it through the loop, and this is a way of attaching a ribbon or a piece of twine without actually having to tie a knot, and it will sit quite flat. So just give these a bit of a pull and see how just that little bit of paint has toned down that colour. And I've got the ribbon backwards. That's going to irritate me. Let's do that again. Okay, so if I do it this way, put the loop through, that's going to be backwards, so I'm going to put that way. So have the ribbon upside down, I think, to you, and then we will put it through and see if it comes out the right way up. Yes, it does. So have the back of the ribbon facing up when you poke it through the hole. Come on, in the hole, through. So the 2 ends go through the loop. They're not wanting to behave today. And pull tight. And just that bit of paint has toned down that ribbon immensely. So you didn't need much, and if you wanted to, you could add a little bit more. I think I got more on the table than I did, so what I might do is just add a little bit more, just with my finger. Just with my finger. And yes, some of it may come off, but it sort of tones down the greenness as well. I like to use my fingers more than using paintbrushes. I'm a bit like that. So there's a little tag with, what's that sitting on there? Oh, it's a bit of the glue. What I'm wondering is, I'm not quite liking that beautiful. So let's go and, I think that beautiful is just a bit harsh. So let's go in with some of the lighter colour. And because we've just added water to this, we're going to be quite careful. And let's just tone down. And I'm just going to go back originally with the aqua. So you can play with these until you're absolutely happy with the way it looks. What I might do is try to get some purple behind it just to make it pop. So I'm just going to try to, where the tag and the beautiful sort of overlap, I just want to get a bit more purple on the background of the tag just to make the beautiful pop. I like that. I'll just feather that out. So I could stand here all day and play with these. You could even do texture paste over your flower, which is not what I'm going to do today. And just making sure I get the right lids back on these so I don't cross-contaminate. And what you don't want to do is put like your light brush into your purple, then back into your light, because it will contaminate your colours. You can mix these colours as well, so I can mix some of this light colour with the purple and make like a lighter colour, so they will mix as well, which is really cool. So it's a really cool project. Actually, let's add some texture paste to the flower. Why not? What's the worst I can do? Stuff it up and stick another flower on there. Okay. I just think the flower looks a bit stand outish because, oh, I even like that, just with that one colour. Ooh. Because I think the flower just looked funny because it was the only thing that didn't have texture paste on it. Oh, I'm liking all that speckled effect. Just going under some of those top petals just to give it a bit of that aqua colour, so you don't see it. So just picking up that first layer of flour and shoving some paint underneath. Oh, I like that. I don't know, what do you think? Do you like it with the texture paste on it, or should I have left it alone? That is the thing with crafting, is you do need to know when to stop. I'm still learning that. Still have problems with knowing when to stop, but I do like that. That looks really cool. And I'll put some still photos at the end with some close-ups. So if you are coming to Melbourne, or if you are in the Melbourne area, the second last week of August, I'll put the links below for the dates. It's in about a week and a half. Well, when I'm filming this, it's in a week and a half. When you see these videos, it might be a lot closer. I'll see how I can get these edited and up for you. Thank you for watching, and I will chat to you again soon. Bye for now.